Just sort of follow up on that point, Ethan. There's this wonderful scene late in the film where you and Seymour are having this conversation about the sort of classic struggle between art and commerce. And in the film, the conversation ends with him suggesting that you can find that balance and find that art through acting, and you saying, I can't. And it seems...
Actually, I say I can.
Oh, I can. Yeah. Okay, so I guess I'm curious as to what got you to that point where you felt that you could find that balance, and was it these sort of side, screenwriting, directing, these other things?
My producing team felt that was an important moment. That moment makes me a little shy, but I think it does relate to why I made the film, and I think that I see it as an example of, I was looking for some grand secret. When you're really struggling with something, you think the answer is going to be, you need to go to Arizona and take peyote and jump over the moon and turn around 3 times and find a magic salt container and take it to your place of birth and pee in the river or something, and then you're going to feel better. And instead, it's like, well, you could try acting, which is what I've been doing since I was 13, and so I didn't. It's a very obvious moment of what the whole movie's about, which is integrating your life. That you can do it. I can figure it out just by the means that are in front of me. What's that whole thing? Is you don't need the perfect family. You really need the one you have. All the lessons that you need in life of learning how to love and forgive. And I'm quoting something, but we're all looking for this extraneous thing. And really all the tools that we need are usually right within grasp. That's what that moment is about to me.
Thank you.
You and I have discussed this also. We should share it with the audience. This documentary is about both of us. It's our search for our identity. And you know how I feel about that. I think that the essence of we all wonder who we are. Let's take Ethan. He's a great actor.
Let's take someone else.
And he's a husband, and he's a father, and he's a friend, and he's a colleague. And so which one is the real Ethan? Is he a composite of different people? So this is my personal feeling. I believe that our talent defines who we are. Whatever talent we have, doesn't matter. Doesn't have to be a talent that's going to emerge into a career. But whatever talent we have represents the essence of who we are. And that goes for good and bad. It means that the positive elements of our talent and the negative elements define who we are. If there are negative elements, we have to do something about that, don't we? We have to work and overcome this. We have to grow through our positive qualities. But it's through our talent that we define ourselves. And then I think that radiates out into the social world. Yes. In that order. The reason I think that is because our social world is very unpredictable. Someone closest to you could suddenly say something or do something, and the relationship dissolves immediately. But in our art form, whether it's acting or performing or painting or singing or cooking, any art form, this is something that is predictable that we can work with, and we can grow and develop everything about us through it. That's why I think that it's very important for us to be disciplined in whatever talent we have, and not necessarily to have a career.
It's the moment in the movie where you're part of this issue that you're discussing now is addressed in the moment in the film where you say, when the performer is saying, I feel inadequate, and you say, get adequate. You make yourself adequate.
As I said, oh, you're inadequate, isn't that too bad?
Yeah.
So stop practicing 4 hours a day and practice 8. And you know what? It works.
Hi, it's a question for Ethan. I'm wondering, obviously the motivation to make the movie, your station in life and searching for answers, that's very clear. I'm wondering though, in the process of making this film, both going into it and then shooting and more in post, how did it evolve in terms of how much of that to put in the film? Or did you kind of always know that that was going to be a framing device? Was it something that you found that you wanted to pull back? Or was it something that you kind of discovered, well, I am part of this, I need to be in it?
You know, my only model, and I don't know if this makes sense, I think I mentioned this to you, Seymour, but you know, when I was growing up, I read a lot of those Rolling Stone profiles, for example, and I was always really interested in musicians. I still find them interesting, actually. And the best profiles, I felt, figured the best of the Cameron Crowe profiles, those were ones I liked, where he was a character in it and we could relate it. He wasn't deciding why Jerry Garcia was a valuable artist. He was telling you why Jerry Garcia was valuable to him. So it wasn't like he was saying Jerry Garcia good, Jerry Garcia bad. You know, with a lot of criticism or profiling often kind of fall into this knee-jerk, it's good, it's bad kind of thing. And I was always more taken when I understood why the writer wanted to write this. And that way you can always tell the bad ones by when somebody's just getting paid to do it. You know, they don't really like Jerry Garcia, so they're not, you know, they're just doing it. You understand. And so I wanted some feeling like that where I didn't want to make a biography of Seymour. I remember one of the first things when I asked Michael Kimmelman to be in the documentary, it was the first question he asked me is, why are you doing this? You know? And Michael said to me that why I wanted to do it should probably be a part of it too, that it might be an interesting part of the movie, that because I think it makes it clear that we're not just talking about the piano. We're talking about the piano, yes, but the piano as a metaphor for other things or analogy towards other aspects of life becomes more relevant. It was a very long, muddled answer.